Hey everyone, how are you doing? Today I want to talk about Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. The book is a beautifully written collection of short stories. The first story, The Husband Cheats, tells the story of a young woman who always wears a ribbon on her neck. She introduces the man who will become the man she will marry and have a son. The ribbon is a part of her that no one is allowed to touch, not even her husband or her son. Brides never fare well in stories. Stories can send happiness and snuff it out like a candle. And then the second story, Inventory, we follow a woman's life through her sexual journey. Her inventory, so to say. As we follow her, there are hints about the world she lives in. A pandemic struck once, and it took people away, and she met less and less people. She found someone at the end, but the virus took her away and took her too. But before it all ends, she wrote her life. Her teachers, the places she lived, the people who love her, the people who she loved. Her inventory, so to say. I realize the world will continue to turn, even with no people on it. Maybe we'll go a little faster. And then the third story, Mothers, is a story about a woman who will become a mother after her ex came by to drop in a baby. Her baby, she said. I believe in a world where impossible things happen. Where love can outstrip brutality, can neutralize it, as though it never was. Or transform it into something new and more beautiful. Where love can outdo nature. And then later on, especially heinous is the synopsis of episode in each season of Law and Order SVU, or so it might seem, because it is also possibly and definitely a fanfiction. It goes to such weird places with girls with bells as eyes and Hansen and Abler that it becomes less of a fanfiction and more of just specially heinous. Screwed! The DA call in 6 again. The 65th story, Hansen whispered into her ear. Is about a world that watches you and me and everyone, watches our suffering like it is a game, can't stop, can tear themselves away. If they could, but they won't, so we can. Real Women Have Bodies tells the story of a woman who works at a boutique in a world where women for an unknown reason fades, literally. They turn into gas form that are no longer solid. I gently circle her wrist and lean into her hair. I love you, I say. It's the first time I've said it, and it tastes strange in my mouth, real but not ready, like a too-hard beer. I ease the 40 from her hand and slide it into my jacket pocket. I kiss her temple, her jaw. She turns into my body. I think she's going to cry, but she doesn't. Then Egg Bite is a story about a woman who took a bariatric surgery so that all she can eat is egg bites. She will touch my cheek like I once did Cal's. So long ago, and there will be no accusation in it. I will cry as he shuffles me away from myself, toward a door propped open into a salty morning. I will curl into her body, which was my body once, but I was a poor caretaker, and she was removed from my charge. The Resident is a story of a novelist who was accepted into a residency called Devil's Mouth, along with other artists there, a sculptor, a painter, a pianist, a poet, a photographer. Strange things happen in this hotel. I finished the day's work long after dark. The fog had burned away by midday, and now everything was clear and sharp. The moon was nearing fullness and glinted off the lake's waves, agitated by the wind. I set off through the trees, my feet crunching on rock. Everything shone with a thin silvery light. I imagined myself a cat, night vision illuminating what was otherwise secret. The hotel glowed in the distance, a lighthouse beckoning me home. The last story, Difficult at Parties, tells the story of a woman who has been through a traumatic experience, an assault. Out of the hospital, she who is now broken tried to fit in into the world again with the help of her husband. I sit there until out of the water drains, until the last milky swirl disappears down the silver mouth, and I feel a strange shiver that starts deep within me. A spine should not be so afraid. The receding bubbles leave strange white striations on my skin, like the tight scarred sand at the beach edge. I feel heavy. This is the best short story collection I've ever read, just hands down. The use of imagery is so good even with the amount of it. A lot of people will read these stories and came out with a different interpretation of what they just read. And all of them are so well written that even if you don't like to read deeper into stories you consume, you can still enjoy these stories. And Difficult at Parties is such a good story to conclude. It is a tragedy that is told in such kindness. It's heartbreaking, yet you can't take your eyes off it because of how beautifully it's told. If you're looking for a short story collection, there's no better book than this. It's the kind of book that makes you thankful that the author chose to write. That's about it.